Okay, we should be recording. So welcome everyone. My name is Jo Denning. I'm part of the Frequency Soul Collective. I've been thinking about my subscription today actually, and I'm coming up on 3 years soon. So yeah, it's gone very, very quickly. So it's my honor to be able to show you all this back to basic stuff this evening. I'm going to share my screen with you all, and when I get the right screen up to share, there we go. You should be able to see the Solex home screen there. So we're just going to go over a few things that are in the back office that you may or may not have seen. I'm just going to turn my red light therapy off because now it's making me really hot. It's not good with menopause, is it? There we go. Okay, so you should all be familiar with your back office, but if you're not, I'm just going to go over a few things that are quite important and a few little tips and tricks that you can find along the way in here as well. So you'll start on your home screen. At the beginning here, you've got all the things that are going on in the background. Most of your quarterly incentives are in here so that you can do a quick scan of what people will get when they're joining. So if you sign anyone up in May, all new QLA and PC enrollees will receive a free bottle of gold if they qualify with their order. That's for May. For June, they're going to receive some free Cepheid dots. So when you do speak to a couple of people, if you've got I've got a few people that are sort of I'm speaking with in the background, I always make them aware of what they will receive when they sign up, because they might want the Cepheid dots, so they might want to hold off until June, and that's unfair not to make them aware of that incentive that they have. We go down the site. Actually, I'll start here. Your marketing site is here. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the back office is currently being updated. So we're all going to have new websites, which is amazing. The carts will say whether they want a one-off or a subscription. So it's going to be much easier for people to purchase. And that's coming in the next couple of weeks, months, hopefully. Your marketing site is here. So you can click on that. You can change your name if you want to. If you have a business name, you can just click and go in and edit that site. Down this side here, we've got your team dashboard. You can have it as a visual tree, your pay history and your points history. So if I go in and look at my visual tree, if it decides to play the game with me, there we go. I've got a gazillion windows open. So you can see all the people who are my direct QLAs. But if you go into team dashboard, it looks a little bit different. So you've got your distributors, which are down there, and then you can click on it and you may have customers. So depending on how people have signed up underneath you will depend on which tab they come under. So if I want to go under my distributors, if you've got a distributor, for example, who all of a sudden says, my subscription's not working, don't know what's going on, you can go into their account and you can check that they've actually paid. So I'm going to go into my husband's account because I know that he's not got a subscription, and he'll allow me to do that. So you click on their name and you go to this section here, and it will tell you what they've ordered and whether it's been paid and shipped. Now, if they've got a subscription, it will come up and it will say payment declined. And you'll be able to go back to them and say, look, your payment declined on this date. You'll need to put it through again. So it's a good way of not being able to, go to support. You can work that out yourself. Usually as well, support will give QLAs 3 or 4 days grace to get that sorted out too. So they probably will find that they've still got access to their technology. It sometimes just goes off like 4 days after, and then they're like, hang on, my subscription was supposed to come out on the 15th. It's now the 19th. It stopped working all of a sudden, but that's because they have that few days grace and the 15th payment didn't actually go through. So just go to this section here first and just double check. The other things in the back office are your tools. So you've got all your documents and media. There's a really good AO program guide. I don't know whether people have seen this or not. I'm not sure how new everybody is, but you can download this. So this shows you, obviously this came when we bought the devices. This is the device. But now most people are using their own technology, their own phone, their own iPads, their own PCs, but it's a good piece of information to have that lets you know when to do your scans, what scans to do daily, what headsets to wear, how QuickScan works, all that wonderful stuff, PET scans, adding therapies and supplements. So anything that you're unsure of is in this guide. That's always handy to refer back to. Products and resources. So if you've got someone that's interested in any of the products that we have and they want a little bit more information, for example, if we look at Bright, you can click on the PDF and download all the information on the Bright. Again, handy if, for example, I've got these on my shelves in my treatment room. So if anyone's wanting information on them, I can just print them off and hand them to clients when they come in. Got most of the things on there. Let's have a look at the Think. I haven't seen the Think one. Let's see what that says. Oh, that's the old one. That's a tablet version. That's, I was going to say, that's not the new drops. I'll have to update that one. Then further down, we've got Solex University. So hopefully everybody's done their basic training and then go into your phase 1, your phase 2, and your phase 3. Phase 1, for anyone that's interested, is absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the best courses that I've done, especially if you're going to see clients and be reading scans. It's definitely worth doing phase 1. You've got all your legal documents. The main one here that you may want to look at if you are seeing clients is the waiver form. So this is a consent agreement and liability waiver. You can print these off and get your clients just to sign down the side that they understand that it's, you know, it's not a medical device. You're not a medical practitioner. You're not going to give medical information to them. We're using subtle energy frequencies and vibration. Fully understand that they've got to pay you at the time of service, things like that. So you can use this, print this off, or you can actually take little bits out of it and create your own, whichever you want to do. I've actually got one of my own, so I don't use this, but I have used some of the wording from it just to cover myself. So that's, you know, why reinvent the wheel, right? The other thing that we have is business development. So I was just looking at this one before I came online. One of the best things that we have in here is an FAQ sheet. There are so many questions asked on websites that can be answered just by downloading this. One of the main ones that I see all the time on Facebook pages and things is EMF. So people are always going, what about the EMF? What about the EMF from the Bluetooth? What about the EMF from the devices? And there's your answer. It's already been answered for you. There's no need to post millions of questions online to get your answers. How long does imprinting last in an object? Another commonly asked question. There was another one down here as well. I can't remember where it was. There's quite a few. It's one about using profile pictures. We don't need profile pictures anymore. If you're new to Solex, when we first started, when we set up our client's profile, we needed to have the client's photograph as part of their blueprint and their energetic field. Now we don't need to use that. However, having said that, it is something that I always put into my technology because recently, as I was going through and updating people who I've scanned in the past and thinking about contacting them and seeing how they're going, the ones without the facial pic under their client name, I couldn't remember. So I've scanned a lot of people in nearly 3 years, and some people you lose track of. And when you want to go back and just touch base with them and say, hey, there's been an update to the scanner. Do you want to have any more information? Without that photograph, I was really, really struggling to remember them. The ones that we've seen at expos that we've taken photographs of, I was able to go, that's right. I scanned her at this expo. That's who she is. And the mind was able to make those connections. So my advice would be, if you can get a profile pic, get one in there, for the sheer fact that if you come back in 12 months' time, 15 months' time, 2 years' time, you'll be able to remember who that person was and make that much deeper connection when you follow up with them and contact them further down the track. And there's a couple more. There was the pet questions. Can you scan the pet if she doesn't have a collar or a tag? Things like that. Others, they've created modified profiles for their pet in the same way as a person. Can you do that? And the answer is yes, but it's not as good. So yeah, I would highly recommend downloading this FAQ sheet and going through it. It does answer a lot of questions, a lot of common questions. And you'll be able to help your clients much better as well if you've got one of those handy. We also have business development tools. So we've got Solex enrollment form is on here. If you're having problems signing people up on site, you can actually just do it through one of the forms and email it through to support. So I know a lot of people sometimes don't like to do things online. If I've got someone face-to-face with me and they decide to sign up, we can just pull out this form and go through it together, and I can just scan that and send that through to support rather than having to go on a website. So it depends on what the person wants that you're signing up. And then we've got marketing. So we've got banners and trifolds. So you can download. I'm looking, sometimes they update these when I haven't gone in and I'm like, oh, what's that? Well, let's have a look. There you go. So things like this you can download and create banners out of, download them, put them on a Vistaprint banner, something like that. I've used one for my Vistaprint banner. I'm just seeing what other ones are on there. There's quite a few different ones. They're all in different sizes. And they're great for business cards too. Oh, what's that? Oh, there we go. So you could copy that and put it on a business card and print that off. So you've got all the logos. And then we've got the trifold. So the trifold's great for if you're doing expos or you've got people coming in to see you and they just want something to take away with your details on. There we go. So this just folds up. You put your information here. I have quite a few of these available when I do an expo. People just take them out. We have a little chat. People just take them out of the folder and they take them away. So it gives them a quick overview of what the scans are that we can do, what each scan is. This is also great to be able to highlight something like this and use, if you're familiar with Canva, put them in a Canva reel or something like that. You've got all the information there. Again, why reinvent the wheel and think about what to type up for an inner voice scan or something? It's all available here for you. You just highlight it, copy it, put it into a Canva thing and post it on your Facebook page. So this is also a great, great little piece to have in the folders for you. And then we're going into shareable images. Again, these are great for when you're working with Canva. You can just upload them all into your Canva folder and then just drag and drop them into your tiles. So you've got things like Cephy dots. So why, you know, you don't need to Again, reinvent the wheel, pick up your phone and take a photograph. It's all been done for you, and it's all been done very professionally too. So you makes your tiles look really good. We've got negative iron things. X by Solex. So great pictures, and you don't have to go out of your way to do it. And I think that's mainly it for the back office, and then you've got your support section. Under settings as well, make sure with communication, if you go into settings and communication, make sure all your boxes are ticked, because this is where you get all your information from Solex. So whether you want an enrollment notification, if someone's enrolled, whether you know, something's declined, like all my notifications come through. So I get an email if one of my QLAs money doesn't go through. I get an email if someone enrolls with me. I get an email if there's been a new update on something. I get an email if the weekly update's being posted, because I've ticked all these boxes. So you need to make sure that they're all there. Company notifications, whether you want text or whether you want emails. Your marketing site's under there as well, so that's where you can change all your names. And that's where you can change all your information about your account. So that's all under settings. Okay, is everyone keeping up so far? All good? Thumbs up? Awesome. All right, I'm going to move on to Facebook. Let me just get rid of that message. And we're going to look at some really good Facebook pages. The majority of us do use Facebook. So some of the good pages to use are, the first one I'm going to do is the Solex LLC page. That's the main business page. So make sure that you're following that page for all the updates and all the things that they post. I played with my AO tunes today. Here they are. Oh my God. They're so cool. Every single tuning fork in two little things. And there's Daddy Solex himself. So the Solex LLC page is a good one. The next one is our own testimonial page, which has been changed. So it used to be Frequency Soul Collective, but now it's AO Scan and Solex products. So this is where you will share your testimonials. This is where you invite all your friends, all your family. It's an open forum where people can come in and see what we're doing, what we offer people, and just so that you're, you know, so that you're not posting everything on your page daily and your friends are like, oh my God, what's she posting again? You add them to this page and they can see everything. And then you can tag them in things. I've got a few people that are really interested in horse scans at the moment. So I'm able to go through this and just tag them in everything that there is to do with the horses. And it's much quicker to be able to find it for them. The next one is the AO Scan official group. So that's the USA one. There's some very interesting questions asked in this group, and very often some very interesting answers. So just be mindful of where you are getting your information from, because some of the answers aren't correct. So if it feels like it's a wrong answer, just dig a little bit deeper. But there's a lot of people on this page, and there's a lot of really, really good knowledge on this page. That's definitely one worth doing. The other one is Becky Coates-Kimberley's page. So this one is Quantum Wellness Solutions with AO Scan. For those that don't know Becky, she's one of the main practitioners over in the USA who is phenomenal with the AO Scan. So it's definitely a page that's worth going on, asking questions, following what's going on in there. She gives some amazing information and she's very, very, very knowledgeable. I can see people writing, which is why I'm going a little bit slower. She also has Quantum Wellness Solutions with the AO Infinity Wand. So that's another one of Becky's pages, and this is to do with the wand. So she's separated the technology from the wand, which is great. So another good page to add, especially if you've got the wand. Okay, we'll keep going. Got that one, we've done that one. I find all these cool pages. Hey, AO Scan Frequency Biohacking Tips. This one is Nadia and Tammy's page. So there's quite a few pages out there, but these are the ones that I find myself resonating towards the most, because obviously you can't be on hundreds of pages. Well, you can be on hundreds of pages, but you won't get anything done. So you don't want to be on hundreds of pages. So I've tried to find the ones that I get the most value out of, and the ones that I know have the most knowledgeable practitioners on there to ask questions. The other one is, let's have a look, it's on here. AO Premier. So AO, the Premier Health Technology, this one is also Tammy Ward's page. She's one of the big leaders in the USA, and she also runs a lot of testimonial calls and a lot of training. So it's good to be able to jump on her calls. Most of the training calls are usually our time around 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. So if you're free then, she usually posts in this page, and you can join her email list and jump on those calls on a Tuesday morning. And then she runs the Wow Wednesday testimonial calls. Okay, I'm going to move out of Facebook and we're going to go to the Solex blog. So the Solex has a blog page, which is solexglobal.com/blog. And there's everything in here that you can find on the products. So if you're wanting to, again, copy and paste things, find photographs that you can use, all the products are here. So you can, let's have a look, let's go to Think Drops again. Someone's asking about the Think Drops, you can just go to the blog page and you can copy the information that's from there, the benefits, what their ingredients are, and any other suggested products to go with it. So it's just a really good site to be able to send people to, or to be able to copy information. And then you've got their blogs. So anything that they've written. So this will tell you about multicast. So just have a play around. Again, multicast is quite new, so a lot of people have been asking questions about it, but if you direct them to the blog, then they'll be able to answer most of those questions themselves. It's how to set, how to set up a multicast, how to send the Cephis. It's all there for them. So no point reinventing the wheel. It's a really, really good website to go to. Don't want that one. Let's go to YouTube. So the last one we will look at is YouTube. So Solex has their own YouTube channel, which hopefully you're all aware of. And this is where they post all their weekly updates, as you can see here. And we've had a banner change, if no one's noticed. It looks like we're going a new branding. We've gone from the black to the blue. So someone in marketing is getting a pay rise. They've changed all their colors. It actually looks really good. And so if you use YouTube this way on your PC, there's a little search button here when you're on the Solex LLC page. So not search at the top, because that will search the whole of YouTube. But if you go into their page and you click on this search button, you can find things just by adding the name in. So if you're looking for something to do with Inner Voice, you just type in Inner Voice. If I type in voice correctly, and it will bring up every single video that's got anything to do with the Inner Voice scan. So any training that's been done on Inner Voice, the basic training, how to run Inner Voice scans, something here that Shelby's done on Inner Voice and a CEPI testimonial, anything in the weekly updates that's incorporated Inner Voice into it. So all that training is still there. So you don't have to scroll through hundreds and hundreds of videos. You can just put in what you're looking for. So the same with comprehensive, same with anything. I can learn to spell. So again, you can see it's bringing up every single weekly update that had anything to do with comprehensive for animals. That's really interesting. I might flag that and watch that later. Basic training, where to start, anything you can share. AO scan, a veterinarian's perspective. That's actually a really good video. So anything at all that's got the word in that you're looking for will come up. While we're in here, I'm also going to discuss Alpha 3 passes. So again, I know that we've got a few people here that are new. You may or not have seen the Alpha 3 pass, but the Alpha 3 pass is where you pay for 6 passes, and you can gift a 3-day pass to someone if they're interested in trying the technology, or you can charge for it. It's entirely up to you. We have to pay for them. Some practitioners charge for the 3-day pass. Others gift them when they know that someone's really, really serious about coming on board. Others will charge for them, but then if that person decides to come on board, they'll actually refund the money that they paid for the Alpha 3 pass. So there's various ways that you can do it, but the pass is a really good way for someone to have 72 hours of really playing around with the technology themselves. And I think they're $125 for 6 in the back office, if I remember rightly. But what you will do with them, when you send them to someone, there's a little space in the back, and I'll show you when I go into the technology. There's a space that you can put their email address in, and it will send them to them. They need to accept that within 10 days, otherwise it gets returned to you. Once they've got that, you go into the YouTube channel, and all the work's been done for you. So there's a little video on how to purchase and send an Alpha 3 pass. Then there's the Alpha 3 pass welcome video. So you will copy that and you will send that to that person that you've gifted or whatever, or who has purchased that Alpha 3 pass from me. This is so that we don't have people constantly coming back to us in the 72 hours going, how do I do this? What does this mean? How does this work? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to gift someone something for 72 hours and then spend 72 hours of your time helping them. So this is the welcome pass that you will send them. There's then another 3 or 4 videos that you will send as well. There's the how to run the inner voice scan. So you will flick that through to them as well, and they will learn how to run the inner voice scan. There's also how to run vitals, how to run comprehensive, and how to run CEPIs. So they will get 4 inner voice, vitals, comprehensive, CEPI, and the welcome. They will get 5 YouTube videos from you, along with their Alpha 3 pass. That will save you so much time if you send that through. So usually I will say to someone, if they've paid for it, I will say, I'm just going to flick you through a video on what to do when you get your pass, which is the welcome one, and make sure that they've enrolled and they've signed up and they've accepted the pass. And then I flick through the other videos to them. And usually that's smooth sailing. And we'll pop into AO Scan and I will show you where that is. So this is your main screen. If you go into your, don't go into that one because it's not that one. It should be that. Oh, yes, it is. It's there. I was going to say it should be that one. Go into the 3 little pancakes, click on Alpha Passes. It will tell you how many you have available. And then you can send one to someone. So their first name, their last name, and their email address. It sends that pass to them. Send the welcome video at the same time. You will get a notification once they've accepted the invitation, and then you can flick through the other videos to them, and then make sure that you follow up during that 72 hours and closing the deal after the 72 hours. And I think that's it. We're at the end. We didn't do too bad. You can all unmute yourselves if you like, and we'll flick over to a Q&A if anyone's got any questions. Let's have a look in the chat. You're all quiet.
Well, thank you for that, Jo.
You're so welcome. Don't be quiet.
Is
there an animal trifold? No, there isn't, but that's a really good idea. So why don't we send that to support and ask them to do one? I work 60% with horses. I'm going to actually scan some horses on Thursday, so I'm really looking forward to that. Thanks, Sue. There's a few people with the horses. Okay, that's all the chat questions. Any other questions, ladies? Anything? I'll try and answer. Apart from what are the lottery numbers?
I've just received all my things.
Yeah.
And, as in, I haven't started yet. And my understanding is that I just need to start with the university, Solex University. Is that right?
Yeah, the basic.
Like
so do the basic training in the back office.
Yeah. And
so what have you received? Just your welcome to Solex and
all these, I think I've got
sign-ins and everything. Oh, okay, you've got CEPIDOCs and things. Awesome. They're amazing.
I don't know yet, but I'll find out. But how long does it take to do the training?
Not, to be honest, not long. Phase 1 took me a little bit longer because it's a bit more in depth, but the basic training's pretty straightforward. It's basic.
Okay.
So it will teach you how to run a scan. And then you're going to want to start deep diving into connecting dots of what everything means. I would say just don't overwhelm yourself. It's once you get used to it, it's really quite straightforward. So just play. That's the main thing I can just say. Just play with it. Do your inner voice. I worked with it for 6 months before I even did anything with anyone else. Family and friends, of course, but then after 6 months I was like, well, this is really good, I need to share it. That was more of a confidence and imposter syndrome thing that was going on in my own head, because everybody else seemed much better at it than me. 3 years in, everybody else seems much better at it than me still. so now I just do me.
Okay.
So yeah, start with inner voice, start using it yourself. That's the main thing. Scan and optimize your vitals, your comprehensive, all that sort of stuff, but don't look into it too deeply. Just scan.
I did do a scan and that was fun, but I
Yeah.
then thought I should really do the training first because I don't really know what I'm doing.
But as long as you're scanning and optimizing, at
Yes.
least your body's getting what it needs. So
Okay.
whether you're reading the reports or not doesn't really matter. So as long as you scan and optimize yourself, your body is making those adjustments that it needs. The
Okay.
more you learn about it, the more you'll be able to dig deeper into what the 1s and the 3s and the 4s and the 9s mean.
Right.
But at this moment in time, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just let it work well, you know, take a note of what it's doing to your body. Inner voice is the main thing that I would say working with.
Yep.
Making sure that you're doing that morning and night. Again, playing around with it, because you're the technology's best testimony.
That's true.
So if it's done something for you, and that's one of the reasons why I shared it, was because of what it did for me and my family, I felt that I couldn't keep it to myself. It's unfair to keep it to myself. So
Okay.
then I have to share it.
Mm.
And by sharing it authentically and with passion, people come to you
Interested.
and people jump on board. So
Okay. Thank you, Joe. That's
no,
all
you're welcome.
question.
You're welcome. And follow the weekly updates. Always make sure you watch the weekly updates. I
Okay.
watch them on 1.5 speed because I think that the USA speak a lot slower than what we do. So I put it on fast speed and whiz through it. But yeah, it's always watch your weekly update. There's lots of snippets in weekly updates.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
And get a good journal.
Okay, thank
Not
you.
like me that's got 20 of them scattered all over their house with
Okay.
bits of information in. Get one good journal.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Come on, there must be some. You can't all be quiet.
I'm just here for the reminders, Joe.
Yeah, you're just here for the ride, aren't you, Patrice?
So, yeah. It's just having a word to Amanda and Belle. So.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna I'll share my screen again in a minute. I'm just going to teach you all a little trick when I can remember how to do it. Oh, where are we? Playlist.
That's searching the Cephis, for, the menu in the Cephis.
That's right, yeah.
That was such an invaluable little find.
Oh, I know. It's just like, and now I just try and share it with everyone because I'm like, how did I not know this? For all this time, how did I not know this?
I suppose we learn when we're ready to.
We do, yeah. I wish I was ready a couple of years ago. All right, I'm just sharing my screen again, ladies. So something that we learned a couple of months ago, which is absolutely invaluable when we're making playlists. So for those of you that are new, this is in, I'll go back in, this is in Cephi, down here at the bottom. And you click on this, and this is where all your frequencies live when you're wanting to make a playlist and send it to yourself. So if I'm going to make a new playlist, I'm just going to call it Joe Training. If you go down to the bottom here and open every single window, open it from the bottom, not the top, you can see, and again, I'm going slowly so you can keep up. I'm trying to watch everybody's face on the screen so you can keep up. You can see all the frequencies that we've got under all the different headings. Now, if someone posts a playlist in the group chat and it comes up with 10 different things, you know, legs and love and gratitude and chakras and everything else, you look at that and you're like, oh my goodness, how am I going to add that to a playlist? If you're on a PC, Now I always go to my PC to do this. I never do it on my phone. I never do it on my tablet. I create all my playlists this way now. So you go to the top. You've got all your windows open so it can do a search. You click on the little pancakes here at the top. So above the pancakes that are in the technology window, you're going onto your PC pancakes in the top corner. I'm not sure whether you can see it on my share screen or not. But right in the top, just under your cross to come out, click on there and click Find. And then put the name in there of what you're looking for. So if someone's list says crown chakra for whatever reason, just put in crown and it highlights it for you. So you can find it straight away and you can click on it to add it to your list. So now we're dealing with the crown, so we're going to look at headaches. So we can have headaches and pressure in the head, and they might have had a head injury as well. So you can see just how easy that is, rather than having to look for every single one of them individually. Let's put coordination in because they've got coordination because they're dizzy because they've knocked their head. So there's your coordination. So easy. Much better than scrolling. And I wish I'd learned that, Patrice, 2 years ago.
But it is very much a time saving.
Oh, it's a massive time saver. Massive time saver, especially when you're trying to, I don't know whether anybody is like me, but I'm a little bit of a playlist hoarder. So when people put up a good playlist, it's like, I need that one. So
I have to say, I don't think you're the only one.
yeah, I think we all do it.
Well, sharing is caring, isn't
Absolutely.
it? So,
Absolutely. There's always some real doozies on those lists sometimes that I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought of doing that.
No, that's true.
So it's really good that we've got that ability to share. Hey, yes, Leanne, your hands up.
Yeah. Is there one central spot to look for playlists that you can sort of go,
so
right, there's one ailment, there's the playlist for it?
Actually, I didn't show you our, let me go back in. I didn't show you our education hub.
I'm glad I reminded you.
Yeah, I knew there was something on I'm looking at my list going, I'm sure I've missed something. Frequency Soul Collective Education Hub. That's where you will find the playlists.
Oh, wow.
So if you go under, I think under guides, Debbie James
Oh,
was
it's in
really
that
good
one,
at
yeah.
updating these. So join this page, make sure you're on this page, and it's got all the guides in there. And under the guides, it has lots of different videos, but it's also got somewhere in here, it's got the playlists as well.
Oh, yeah.
There you go,
actually,
separate playlists.
yeah.
So
So I think I did, have a bit of a look the other day.
yeah, she put, there doesn't seem to be many in there at the moment, but she puts them in there. Another way to find them as well is, you're in our group chat? I think you are,
Yes.
aren't you?
Yeah.
In the group chat, when you go to, let me just have a look at what it's called. When you click on the name at the top, you get like to add someone and then the theme and what have you. But if you look under view media files and links, it will bring up everything that's ever been posted. And then you can just scroll through. So I will show you I'll stop sharing my screen. So you might not be able to see. You see how it comes up?
Oh, okay. Yep.
That's all under media and links.
Under media. Yeah.
And there's, I mean, you can see there's like heaps of playlists
Yeah.
there as well. So one thing I will
Yeah.
say is don't also fall into the trap of using everybody's playlists,
Yes.
because you should be scanning your clients and finding out what their body needs. So playlists are great for a quick, I'll just send you a playlist if you need it type thing. But if you're being really, I can't think of the word, but if you're working on behalf of your client, then you should be scanning that person, reading their
Yeah.
scans, connecting the dots, and making the playlist based on what their needs are, not
Yeah.
generic.
Yeah.
Yeah, playlists are great. I love them, but I always try and make sure that they're generic. But let's say someone's suffering really bad optic migraines, for example. You might go and say, does anyone have a playlist for an optic migraine? And just scan over it, because there might be something that you've not thought about, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't use that playlist particularly for that person. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, I find it's always interesting for like the homeopathics and things like that I don't have the knowledge on, and at this stage have no, I shouldn't say I haven't no interest.
Google
but
is
no
your friend.
time. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's the first
Yeah.
thing I do. I
Yeah.
go straight to Google. If I'm looking for homeopathics, I just go straight to Google, and I would put in homeopathic remedies for optic migraine, and
Yeah.
then I would have a look and
Yeah.
you know, choose the top ones that are coming up. The other way that we've got is obviously you can, I'm just going to share my screen again and go out. Homeopathics. You can look by symptoms.
Yeah.
You go into homeopathics. Sorry, it's not even sharing. You can go in and you can look by symptoms here, and you've got a list that you can pull up as well.
Okay.
So let's say I've got gastritis. What's the best homeopathic? So let's say I've got something going on with my tummy right now. It's brought up a list of homeopathics that I can use.
Yeah.
I can send those frequencies to myself, all individually or all at the same time. Or if I'm wanting to put them in a playlist, I can just quickly scan myself, and it will list them in the order of what's most important for my body at that time.
Yeah.
So you could maybe then take the top 3 and put those in the playlist that you're making.
Yeah.
So that's another good way of ensuring that, you know, you're choosing the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always make sure as well when you're scanning people that, especially when they're with you, that you're doing the clearing and shielding on yourself as well. And you're not transferring any frequencies from yourself onto them and vice versa. So always make sure you do a clear and shield before you scan someone that's with you, and then after you've done it as well.
Yep.
Just little tips and tricks as you learn along the way.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other
Sure.
questions? I've got the scanner open, so you might as well ask away and we'll go and search it together.
Joe, sorry, it's Susanna here. Can you just go back as to where did you find that homeopathics?
So
The
let's go
symptoms?
back here. So down into Cephi,
Yep.
and then homeopathics here.
Okay.
Click on that one, and then by symptom,
Okay. Got it.
and then that little drop down box there.
Okay, perfect. Excellent.
And again, you can change your target. So if you've got someone as a target or an animal as a target, you can do that for your animals as well. So just change your targets.
Okay, cool. Thank
Maria,
you.
you must have heaps of questions. Come on.
Don't know where to
Brains while
start,
you've got
really.
me.
I'm not sure where to start. I'm not too familiar with this system because I've seen a practitioner that did I've seen Amanda a couple of times, but I'm more familiar with the system called the abductor system.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't the thing is, it's all very new. This seems, I don't know, this whole inner voice thing, the sending of the frequencies, I understand the music. There's a lot. I've just got a lot of questions, but I don't think everyone else here needs to hear them. I think I need to do my training first.
That's okay. Is there anything that I can help you straight off the bat with? Or
I'd like to know if I just do a quick scan on myself, which I think
Yeah.
I've done, a comprehensive scan, actually. I think I did. Where am I? If I do a comprehensive scan and I sent myself some music, but I didn't really know if I did the right thing.
So comprehensive wouldn't send you music. So if
There you
if it all came through together, it's either a quick scan or an easy scan that you've done. I would say you've
Oh,
probably
okay.
done an easy scan,
Yeah.
which is this one, which incorporates all three.
Oh, yeah. I think it
So
was.
it might look familiar to you. So it does inner voice, it will do the vitals, and it will do the comprehensive. And then in the report that you get, everything will look red. So it only sends you the things that are out of balance. So this can be quite overwhelming when you first do this one, because
Okay.
everything that comes back to you is red. And you're like, oh my goodness, I'm dying. Like, what on earth is going on? But that's the value of this report, is it will only show you what's out of balance. So you don't have to go through pages and pages and pages of reports
Okay.
to find what's actually out of balance in your body. I'll see if I'm not sure whether I've actually got one. I can't remember the last time I did an easy scan. So it will give you a quick, it may look, I don't know if this looks familiar, it will give you your inner voice tunes.
Is that what they are? Because I didn't
Yeah.
actually know what they were.
So these balancing harmonics link to your inner voice.
Okay.
Then it will give you what you can imprint if you've added supplements into the technology. If you haven't, then you wouldn't have had anything here. So
No.
this, when you go up here, you can add supplements and therapies.
Okay.
So you can add your own supplements, and you can add the homeopathic remedies that are already in the system. You can just tick and flick them and go, yeah, I ticked everything.
Okay.
And then when they come up, you can just imprint them onto something. So what I do is I get my device, I get my, let's pretend this is a glass of water. I get my glass of water and I put it on there, and I click the imprint button and imprint those frequencies into my water. So some people will use sugar pellets and things like that. I don't use the sugar pellets. I just imprint it straight into my water.
Okay.
And then you've got, like I said, everything that's red. You can see here, everything that's red. So this is from the vitals scan. Tells you here, your vitals report. Vitals is like frequency blood work.
Right.
So it's everything that's out of balance. If you were, well, it's better than a blood test, but it's basically similar things to what you look for in a blood test. Plus the chakras and the meridians. And then it goes down to the comprehensive. So it will tell you everything that's out of balance in the comprehensive. So you can see here that I had whatever this is in my head, paracentral sulcus. I've got no idea what that is. Now, I don't know if you know about this little button too. You click on this, you
Right.
press this little button, and it will give you a 3D image of what's going on inside the body.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it's cool, isn't it? I love it.
It's
So cool.
amazing.
Look at that.
Very cool. Incredible.
Joe Denning, MD. So yeah, you can take parts away. You can add things to it. You can just have a little play around with it. This is phenomenal. This is amazing for when you're seeing clients and you're trying to explain to them where something is inside their body. It's great for acupuncturists who you can just scan the muscles and the nerves of the body. In comprehensive, you don't have to scan the whole thing. And so let's say, for example, someone wants to look at my artery, I can just click on that and it will show me exactly what's going on, where the artery is. So imagine if you did acupuncture therapy and you had someone and you wanted to put a needle in a nerve somewhere, but you weren't actually quite sure whether you were getting the right spot. How amazing is this that it'll actually tell you where that spot is that you need to put it, where that frequency is out of balance.
Wow, that's
I think it's just phenomenal.
yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
But again, this is just for ones that are out of balance. Something going on with my leg there. Let's have a look here. So it tells me here as well where that is in my body.
Mm. Feels like I've got a lot to learn. That's what I
Add parts and take parts away, and you'll only learn by playing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will look at the comprehensive scan in the, I've forgotten which way around it is. You've got your table report and you've got image report. If you click on the table report, that's what you get for your comprehensive scan. Boring.
Yeah.
I love the images because I can see it. I'm a visual person. I can see it and I can click on it and I can see where it is and I can go, that's really cool. I still have no idea what it is, but it's really cool. So yeah, I love that.
Fantastic. Well,
So yeah,
thank you.
make sure. So some of them don't have this, which means you can't see the 3D image, but the majority of them do.
Okay. No, I'm really excited to start learning all about it,
Yeah.
actually.
And when
Great.
you're looking through your reports as well, if you click on the name, like as you're going through and you're like, I'm not sure what that is. If you click on the name, and I just clicked on one and it didn't give me it, but if you click on the name, sometimes there's an overview of what it actually is.
Okay. Oh, excellent.
So you don't have to go Googling as well. So that's a really quick way of finding out too.
Excellent. Oh, very good.
Everything's there.
Wow. Okay.
You're
Well,
going to have a ball.
yeah, I think I'm just going to get off now and just go start.
Yeah. Yeah. No sleep for you tonight.
No, I don't think so. Your one says here that's all out of range. Is that because you've just done it today and it needs to be scanned
This one?
in range? Yeah.
So
Is that
this is so as I said, this is the easy scan. So it's only going to show me what's out of range.
Oh, it
It's
doesn't.
not going to show me anything else. So the easy scan can, when you first do it, you're like, oh my God, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, look at all these reds, but it's literally only plucking what's out of range and showing you. So if I go into vitals, that's what it looks like normally. So what the easy scan does is it just shows you these.
Yes,
Whereas
I like this
vitals
one.
one will show you what's in range and what's out of range.
What's the name of this scan?
This one is vitals.
Vitals. That's the one I think I do. I like that one because that tells you the good as well as the bad.
Yeah. So with your food sensitivities,
yeah,
always look at them with just reds and greens. Always, because the numbers mean nothing with the food sensitivities. But if you click on enhanced view, it gives you numbers. So we'll scroll down to where the blood work is.
and are you saying that means nothing? Because that's good to know. That did confuse me actually.
If you're on numbers for food sensitivities, don't look at it. You need to be on reds and greens only. You need to be on classic view only for food sensitivities.
Okay.
You can look at the whole report in classic view.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, but if you're looking for something real, if you're deep diving into someone's, I don't know, cholesterol, for example, here is my cholesterol. It looks good, right? It looks, it's green. It looks okay. But if I click on enhanced view and go to numbers, let's see what it looks like now. Still not too bad, but there's a 7. So you can see that it's changed color. So there's something slightly going on there and something slightly going on there. So if that's something that I'm monitoring, then I would keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Because 4, 5, and 6 is the normal range.
Right.
So there could be something that's just starting, all right, even though it was a 9 and it's now to a 7 and it's got a little bit better, it's still basically out of range. But if you did it in the classic view, that would be green and it would look in range. So it depends on how deep you're really wanting to go with yourself and with clients.
Okay.
I always look in classic view. I just look at reds and greens
Okay.
constantly. It's, yeah, I never change it. I just look at reds and greens.
And another question I have, which is a bit, I don't know, just a bit of a general one. If, like, I've got a friend who's 89 who's not very well, he's dying actually. But if,
Oh, well, that's not good.
no, that is very sad. But if I was to send him, do you need to have people's permission to send them frequencies?
It's always recommended that you get their
Always
permission.
recommended.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And you need to write their full name in there as well. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Do you not think that he would give permission?
I'll ask them. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because if he won't, you could send it to the space that he's in.
Yes, which is what you do with Reiki, which is what you
Yeah,
do with
yeah.
Reiki. So I was
Yeah.
just wondering if it's a similar thing.
So if you wanted to, you could just put it in as a, if you go up to here and you'd put in space and objects,
Yeah.
and you just click on the button and give it a name, Freddie's bedroom, whatever.
Space and
Um,
objects.
Put the address into the description and then save it.
Okay.
And then when you go back into Cephi's and you've got a playlist, you change your target there. Just here.
Okay. Got it. Under space and
And
objects.
so it's under your name still, that's still my name,
Yeah.
but you've put it under, so for example, I do markets. So I took a photograph of my market stall. I send abundance frequencies to that market stall. You would do that exactly the same way. So you would name it Freddie's bedroom.
Okay.
And you would put, you know, supportive frequencies and send the playlist to that space. And then you don't have to get his permission to do that.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
That's all right.
Thank you. Okay.
Someone's got a question. Lindsay's gone to bed. Hi, Lindsay. If you imprint into the bracelet, does it matter which wrist you wear it on? Good question. Don't think so. It's not like the red light where the red light supports, you know, your kidneys on one side and your spleen on the other side. I think you can just wear it anywhere on your body. Samsung, I don't know who you are, but for a newbie, I will need to rewatch this and stop and look. That's all right. You're very, very welcome.
Mm.
Any more questions, ladies? If
Jo,
not, we will.
Jo, just a
finish
quick
up.
one.
Yes.
You were talking about sending frequencies to a property or a house or market or whatever. Do you
Yeah.
have to have a photograph of that?
It's helpful if you do.
Yeah. So not
Because
just the
that's
address,
part
but the
of
photo.
the energetic blueprint,
Right.
but it would still, the way that I would say it is the way Lauren always says it, it's like taking a photograph without a lens on.
Yeah. Okay.
So the more
Cool.
information that you've got,
Mm-hmm.
the better the frequencies will be received. So if
Right.
you're taking, you know, if you've got a professional camera and you're just taking a photograph, you'll still get a photograph, right? But if you put that lens on and you focus it in,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to be a much clearer picture. So that's why the photographs work so well.
Mm.
So yes, it will work without one, but the
Okay.
more information you have, the better. And the more
Which
times you scan spaces and people and things, the more the software and the technology learns
becomes more in
about
tune.
that space. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Which brings me also to babies. Can you work on babies as well?
absolutely. And in the womb.
How do you do that?
So if you can, if it depends on how you're working. So obviously Vital's comprehensive frequency playlists and things like that works on scalar wave technology. If you're wanting to do an inner voice scan so that they can listen to their music, you can try and record their cry or their breathing or
Okay.
anything, any sort of sound or gurgle or anything. I mean, obviously they're not going to go, I am Joey and I am a
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah.
But any sound that you can get from them will be really helpful, and then they'll get their own, obviously, their own balancing harmonics. But the
Mhm.
other ones, the other scans, so the inner voice scan is basically all we need the voice for. However, I will say that I never ever scan anyone without a voice. As
Right.
in, even if they just want a vital scan, I will always gather that fresh voice from them, because I feel, why not? Like, if even if they're not having an inner voice scan done per se,
Mm.
that's still part of their energy at that time that they're giving out, that the technology can use to build that report for that vital scan.
Right.
So I wouldn't just go in if, you know, if you came to me and said, oh, I just want a vital scan. I always say to someone, I'll just flick through your voice. Because they don't know what I'm using it for. They just
Mm.
give me their voice every time. So yeah, so even if they're not having an inner voice scan, I always try and get their voice if I'm running a vitals. It's not needed. I know it's not needed, but for me, I just think, why not? It's extra information, isn't it, that the software's got to make up that report from. So
Mm.
yeah.
So to save sending the report to people, can you just send the inner voice rather
Yes.
than like if you've done
So
a
if you don't want to
comprehensive or
send the
something like
report
that?
to them, so if you go down to reports,
Yeah, no, I know how to do inner voice, but I'm just thinking if you were to do Easy Scan, for example,
yeah,
which has got the voice, can you just send? Because you don't always want to send the whole report.
no. So if you're sending in a voice scan, you can choose here what you send. So when you click on it here, you can take report pages out and just send the audio file. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
And then with Easy Scan, so anything you've done in Easy Scan will transfer to the, so let's say you've just done an Easy Scan
Mhm.
on yourself, and you've got this report here, and it's got this here.
Right.
If I go back into Inner Voice now,
Right.
that will transpose over to the Inner Voice Scan.
Okay.
That will be the
Got it.
current one.
So then you just send that.
So then you would just send that, yes. So you don't have to send this way, because it, like you say, it will send the full report to them, and an Easy Scan is just all reds, and they're going to freak out, and they're going to go, why did you send me that, and what's wrong with me? So you can just come out of this. So anything that's here, it won't be the same on mine because I've done lots of inner voice scans since this, but anything from here would then immediately have transposed into this.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just send it from there,
Okay.
and just send no report, and just send the audio files if that's what you wanted to do.
Okay. Audio
Does that make
files.
sense?
Yeah. So you have to tick that, include
Yes, you'd
supportive
have to
audio.
tick include supportive audio, so it wouldn't have report pages and it wouldn't have the pulse tones, or you
Mhm.
could send pulse tones and the 4 individual ones, or you could just send pulse tones through.
Okay.
And another good way of working out what they are getting is email it to yourself first, just in case if you're unsure.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So if you're like, I'm really not sure what Joe's told me is right, then just do that, send it to yourself. So you can change the email there.
Mm.
And then it's sending it to me anyway, but you can change your email there, put your email in, and then check that it's the right one and forward it from your email address.
So when you go back, that will still be there. You can still send it.
All this will still be there until you do another one. All that will still be exactly the same. Yeah.
Oh, really? So it stays until you do another one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay, cool. Thank you.
So you don't lose it. The only thing that you do lose is mind sync. So when you do a mind sync and
Yep.
you've recorded it and you email it to yourself, they don't save. So make sure that when you have done one and you've listened to it, make sure you definitely email that to yourself, especially if it's a good one.
Haven't done one of those yet. I'm working up to that.
I must be honest, I haven't played around a lot with MindSync, but I will be.
So that's positive affirmations, yeah?
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
can record, you can do your own custom ones,
Mm-hmm.
or you can record ones that are automatically in here. And when you press the record button, it will bring up the affirmations for you to read.
And so do you read it, send it, and then you
Yeah,
hear
so
your own voice?
you read those out loud. So there's nothing more powerful than your own voice.
Mm-hmm.
So you read those out loud. You decide which how you want. So you'll listen back to it and play around with how much music you want, how much of your voice you want, how
Okay.
much of the frequency tone you want underneath it. Make sure that it's set how exactly you want it. You can change the hertz frequency. So
Brilliant.
this is how it's delivered in your head, and everybody's different. So I can't tell you which is the best way to do it. Everybody's completely different. So you play around with it, and then once you've got it set how you want, then email it to yourself.
So it says
When you
select
come back to what we've
emotion.
got.
What's the
Sorry?
emotion? It says select emotion.
Yeah,
What's
so
the...
you can choose which, if you're feeling a certain emotion, you can choose an emotion that you may be feeling, or you can just turn that off.
So that's a tone relevant to the emotion. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So there's various ways of playing around with it.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
thank you.
That's all right. You're welcome.
Mm.
But yeah, once you've done that, it's gone. If you come out, it's gone. So make sure that you email it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me just check the chat. Is this better to use on a phone or hang on, let me go further back. Is this better to use on a phone or a computer? I find creating playlists much better on a computer. Everything else I do on my tablet or on my phone. Carmel needs to go. Bye, Carmel. And Sue says, thank you. You're very welcome. So no more questions, ladies? We're all good?
Thanks so much.
You're very
I really
welcome.
appreciate it. Looking forward to learning it all, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm
It's a
glad
bit
you've
of a
joined the
snapshot,
team.
bit of a snapshot into things, and
Yeah.
I'll go away and work on it now. Thank you.
Yeah, just my advice would be try not to get overwhelmed by it, and don't let imposter syndrome kick in. Everybody's at different levels, and that's okay. And we're all here to help you. So, you know, any questions that you've got, pop them in the chat. I'm sure your upline would help you as well, but that's what the chat's there for. There's usually someone online that can instantly answer that question. Usually it's me because I have no life. But
Say
yeah,
that.
we're all here to help you succeed and basically keep that vibration high.
Okay, thanks so much, Jo. You have a
You're
lovely rest of the
welcome.
night. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for joining me, everybody, and I
Thank
will
you.
see you next time.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Jo.